Today I'm going to show you how to find the slope between any two given points. You've been taught that the slope equation is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or the change in y over the change in x. And when you have a graph in front of you, you can use rise over run, but we don't have a graph in front of us to just count these points out. So instead we're going to have to depend on this equation. So the first thing is to identify your y's. And that's what we're going to find the difference of for the numerator. So if I do 12 minus a negative 14, that's also the same thing as 12 plus 14, but I'm going to write it this way just so you can see exactly what I'm doing. On the bottom, since I chose from the 12 and then the negative 14, I have to go in the same order. So I need to do negative 3 minus 5 for the denominator. 12 minus negative 14, like I said, is the same thing as 12 plus 14, so that's going to be 26 over negative 3 minus 5, that's going to be negative 8. Now if you did these in the other way, and you did negative 14 minus 12 on top and 5 minus a negative 3 on the bottom, you may have ended up with a negative on the top, and that's okay. The negative can be on the top or on the bottom. The last step is to make sure that your slope is reduced. So I notice that both of these are even numbers, so I know it can at least be reduced one time by dividing by 2. So I get 13 over negative 4. And again, that would be the same thing as negative 13 over positive 4. Even if you get an improper fraction, it's important that you keep it that way because it's easier when you go through and you're trying to actually graph, you can count out the rise over the run. So let's try another example. In this case, we have the 0.24 and the 0.74. So when I do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, we're going to do 4 minus 4 over, if I chose from this 4 and then this 4, I'd have to do 2 minus 7. But it's hard to tell because I could have done this 4 and then this 4, and on the bottom it would then be 7 minus 2. But the reason it doesn't matter is because no matter what, I get 0 for my numerator, and in this case I get negative 5 in the denominator. But even if it had been the other way and I'd had the positive 5 in the denominator, 0 divided by anything is 0. So in this case you have a slope of 0. This comes up whenever you have a horizontal line. The last scenario, we have the 0.38 and the 0.315. If I go through and I do my equation, I would do 15 minus 8 if I'm choosing from this point first, over 3 minus 3. 15 minus 8 is 7, and 3 minus 3 is 0. Now if you ever notice a 0 in the denominator, that means we have a problem. You are not allowed to divide by 0. So in this case, this is considered to be an undefined slope. This is the slope of any vertical line.